Good morning, students. Today's topic is effect of posture and exercise on blood pressure. So first one is effect of posture. So how does the posture affect the blood pressure? So any position other than supine is stressful to the body. Gravity exerts significant effect on the blood column. So thus when the body changes from a position that is not stressful to a position that is stressful, changes in cardiovascular function, especially blood pressure and heart rate, takes place. So that's why other than normal position, that is supine position, any position is stressful to the body. That's why the changes in cardiovascular function, that is especially blood pressure and heart rate, takes place when the body changes the position. So this is due to changes in the activity of sympathetic nervous system. And coming to the requirements, so we have already known the requirements or the equipment for the recording of blood pressure, that is a manometer, stethoscope. Okay, so the procedure for the studying the effect of posture is that ask the subject to lie supine quietly on a couch for 10 minutes and record his BP and pulse rate. Keep the BP cuff on an arm itself and ask the subject to sit up on a stool and record BP and heart rate immediately. Repeat the recording after 1 minute, 2 minutes and 5 minutes and make the subject lie down again in supine position for 10 minutes. Now ask the subject to stand and record BP and pulse rate immediately, that is within 30 seconds. Fall in BP can be noted. So that's why immediately after standing you should record the BP within 30 seconds. So it is difficult to record within 30 seconds by beginner like students. So at the end of 1 minute, 2 minutes and 5 minutes in standing position, again record the BP and heart rate. Record and note down the values in your notes. So compare the blood pressure and heart rate recorded in sitting and standing positions and tabulate them. Okay, so first the person should be in lying position. So in lying position, what is the blood pressure and heart rate, you have to note down. And then immediately after sitting, in sitting posture after 1 minute, 2 minutes and 5 minutes, and then in standing posture, and then after sitting again supine 10 minutes rest, and then again standing posture after 1 minute, 2 minutes and 5 minutes. So like that you make a tabular form and then you note down the values. So what happens in lying position, the values are minimum and heart rate is resting value. Sitting, there is no significant change in SBP, DBP and pulse pressure and also heart rate, and no changes after 1, 2 and 5 minutes recording. Then again lying posture and then standing. Standing posture, within 30 seconds the systolic blood pressure falls and diastolic increases. Pulse pressure decreases and heart rate increases. After 1 minute, you can see here lower normal SBP, slightly increased diastolic and no change or slight decrease pulse pressure and increased heart rate. After 2 minutes, again normal resting values, heart rate increases still. And after 5 minutes, the resting value is restored. So the effect of posture on blood pressure. What are the compensatory mechanism on immediate sitting or standing from supine position? So on immediate sitting or standing from supine position, pooling of blood occurs in the lower extremities, that is 300 to 500 ml. So this decreases the venous return and cardiac output also. So there is immediate fall in blood pressure. So this causes decreased pressure in carotid sinus and aortic arch and decreased rate of discharge from baroreceptors. So that will cause less excitation of cardiac inhibitory area in the medulla, leading to decreased vagal activity and then increased heart rate. And on the other side, less inhibition of vasomotor center in the medulla, that causes increased sympathetic activity, which again causes increased heart rate, increased force of contraction and increased peripheral resistance, all leading to the increased cardiac output. That means increased mean arterial blood pressure. Okay, average pressure on the cardiac cycle is the mean arterial blood pressure. Okay, so the fall in BP reason for the is the pooling of blood in lower extremities, leading to decreased cardiac output. And then after the BP falls, this baroreceptor reflex will come into action and causes increase the cardiac output and restoration of the blood pressure. So this is the compensatory mechanism. This table you have to remember and write down. So the heart rate increases in standing position, which can be explained on the Mary's law. According to Mary's law, heart rate is inversely proportional to blood pressure. So that is due to baroreceptor flex. Okay, so what you have to note down like this in a tabular form: the blood pressure and heart rate responses after changing in posture. So lying position, what are the recordings, and sitting immediately and after 1 minute, 2 minutes and 5 minutes, and then standing. So likewise. So the procedure of recording blood pressure we have already known. Just here we are changing the postures. First one supine, and then sitting, and then again supine posture, and then again standing. Okay, so that is the effect of posture on blood pressure. And then coming to the effect of exercise. So again here the recording of blood pressure we know. So we need the apparatus like treadmill and then any other equipment for exercise like 2 steps. What is there? 2-step exercise test will be there, or in our laboratories when you come back to college. So the exercise is usually walking or climbing up and down the stairs, or jogging, and this treadmill or bicycle ergometer, you can use these and do the exercise. So what is the procedure for this means? Allow the subject to sit in a chair comfortably for 10 minutes and record his BP and pulse rate, and put the subject on moderate exercise. Okay, so moderate exercise means ask the subject to hop on each foot alternately on a rate of 30 double steps per minute, and either ask the subject to run up and down stairs for 3 minutes, and then subject can be given treadmill or bicycle ergometer. So likewise many exercises are there. So one for 3 minutes, climbing up and down the stairs is most commonly used. So after the exercise completion, record the BP and pulse rate immediately, and also at the end of 1 minute, 2 minutes and 5 minutes. So that is the simplest procedure of studying the effect of exercise on blood pressure. So exercise is stressful to the body and so bring about changes in body function, especially the function of CVS. So on the basis of heart rate and oxygen consumption, we can categorize the exercise into mild, moderate, severe. And the exercise is, we can again classify into isotonic and isometric exercises. So what is the difference between the two? Isotonic is there is change in muscle length and no change in tension. So the examples for isotonic are walking, jogging and running, and isometric is no change in muscle length, example pushing against a wall. So in isotonic, systolic blood pressure rises only moderately, whereas diastolic varies, and in isometric, within few seconds of onset, SBP and DBP both rise sharply, and in isotonic, cardiac output increases, and cardiac output increases due to increase in heart rate and stroke volume. Stroke volume changes relatively little in isometric. In isotonic, blood flow to the muscles increases, and in isometric, blood flow to steadily contracting muscle is decreased as a result of compression of their blood vessel. Okay, so clinical significance of this studying the effect of exercise is that there is marked improvement in cardiovascular function, especially endurance. So the basal heart rate decreases due to increased vagal tone. The stroke volume increases due to increased cardiac muscle mass. And the respiratory benefits include breathing capacity and maximal O2 extraction. Exercise also promotes better mental functions. And the long-term benefits like walking for 30 to 40 minutes most days of week. You can cut down the risk of heart attack and stroke, hypertension, etc. This exercise combined with diet and lifestyle changes raises the high density lipoprotein HDL cholesterol while lowers the bad LDL cholesterol. Okay, so the precautions for studying the effect of exercise is that recording of heart rate and blood pressure before and after exercise should be recorded in the same posture, and the cuff should be disconnected from the tubing while exercising. So what are the grading of exercise? Mild exercise is where heart rate is 100 and O2 consumption is 0.5 to 1 liter, and moderate is 120 and 1 to 2.0. Severe is 150 heart rate and more than 2 liters oxygen consumption. Maximal is 180 and up to 4 liter oxygen consumption. And finally, after completing the exercise, after completing the procedure, after noting down the blood pressures, we have to give the report or the result as this in your record books. So resting 10 minutes after rest, that the normal position, we have to note down the values, and immediately after the exercise, and also at the end of 1, 2 and 5, or 1, 3 and 5. So like this we have to note down the observations. So there is minimum rise in blood pressure and heart rate during mild exercise, and usually a rise in systolic with no change in diastolic is observed, and occasionally small rise in diastolic blood pressure may be observed, which may be due to sudden activation of sympathetic nervous system. And similar pattern is observed in moderate. And during severe exercise, there is maximum rise in systolic and heart rate may reach 180. DBP shows a fall compared to resting levels. An increase in cardiac output during exercise is responsible for the rise in systolic, as systolic is dependent on cardiac output. So the factors which are responsible for changes in the cardiac function during exercise are activation of sympathetico-adrenal system resulting in excessive secretion of catecholamines, and increase in respiratory activity affecting the heart rate and cardiac output, an increase in skeletal muscle activity causing vasodilation, and an increase in body metabolic activity, and also increase in venous return. Okay, so that's all. You all note down the values, do it on yourself if possible, do at home, and write down in your record books. Thank you all. So some Viva questions and answers on blood pressure. So define arterial pressure and name the different components of systemic arterial blood pressure. Name the factors determining the arterial blood pressure. So the main factors are cardiac output and peripheral resistance. And define systolic blood pressure. And then define diastolic blood pressure and pulse pressure. So these questions are appearing very simple, but these questions only you will not be able to answer in the final Viva. So that's why note down all these Viva questions and write answers on your own. So define the mean arterial blood pressure and the formula for it, and what is the effect of posture on arterial blood pressure. So you have to note down or write down the observations which you have observed while recording, and then give the explanation if needed. And what are the effects of exercise on arterial blood pressures? In untrained individuals, mild exercise causes increase in systolic, no change or decrease diastolic. Moderate and severe causes increase in both SBP and DBP. And in trained, mild to moderate exercise cause no change in BP. Severe exercise causes rise in systolic. So precautions which we have to take while measuring BP. So in the previous class only I have told you, these are the few precautions. And how will BP reading affected if an over or undersized cuff is used? And then why does the graduated manometer scale show the highest mark of 300 mmHg. That is, in a healthy individual, maximum intramyocardial tension generated corresponds to 300 mmHg. Okay, so these are the few questions which you know very well. Why blood pressure should be recorded by palpatory method before recording by auscultatory, and what are the Korotkov sounds, and what is the auscultatory or silent gap, and what is its significance. And define hypertension and write down the types of hypertension.